I came to Dr. Margolis just this year, but I've been dealing with this problem since probably I was like 22. I had MS, but I didn't know it, and it had been messing with my optic nerve, and I was always dizzy. I went to a dizziness doctor in Chicago, and they couldn't find anything wrong with me. And then that was probably like maybe 2012. And then when I got married in 2015, I had a full on relapse, but I didn't know it. And the relapse was to the point where my optic nerve was so out of balance in my vestibular system that when I would turn my head to the side laying down, I'd throw up. I couldn't go to work. I had to hold on to walls. And eventually, after 9 months, that went away. No one knew I had MS yet. And the symptoms kind of still stuck around. But then I think the worst was 2018. I had a relapse after having my daughter, 6 months postpartum. I got sick and I had another relapse and I lost vision in my right eye and I became dizzy again. And I did vestibular therapy, but it didn't really help all the way. Something else was off. And so I just kind of went through life like that, like a little dizzy, everything bouncing around. I used to love to play ultimate frisbee. I couldn't play that anymore. I couldn't play football. I like to do that too. Even just exercising would make me sick, walking, sometimes even looking to the side. And I'd wake up fearful that an episode would happen again where I'd be dizzy. And then the worst happened recently in February. I had another relapse and I had really horrible optic neuritis. And once the pain went away, I was still dizzy. Like I wake up sick. I was like taking Zofran all the time. And I really have just been looking for an answer. I've seen ophthalmologists and I even asked my neurologist. And then I went to therapy and my vestibular therapist recommended Dr. Margolis. And understanding someone who can like treat your eyes connecting to each other is huge because ophthalmologists really just look at the nerve, optometrists just look at the eye, and then vestibular therapists are great because they can give you exercises, but like someone who can really help is like extremely difficult to find. I've lived all over the place from, Memphis, Nashville, Chicago. The best people are in Chicago. I've Googled things, I research everything, and I could never really find help. And so coming here today was huge because even coming in, I felt a little bit of dread like, is he really going to get it? Or is this going to be another thing where I try to explain these symptoms and no one understands it? But as soon as I came in, I knew he was the right person because he did a bunch of quirky stuff and the random like exercises. And being a science teacher, I know that sometimes that's like how you figure it out. But I could also tell he was very, very serious about his work and professional and wanted to help me. And we even had a little bit of miscommunication where like blurry to him wasn't the same as a double image. And I had a lot more blurry than double image. And we tried different lenses. And then when he put the lens on, like my eyes, I just immediately felt better. Okay, so when I normally walk, everything was bouncing. So as I walk, exit sign, things on the wall, go side to side, the door frames, they're not quite focused. They bounce, and it makes me pretty sick. If I'm running or jogging, I can't tolerate it very long because the whole world is moving or bouncing.
It's really just right now, very.
Putting on the glasses, everything is still and where it's supposed to be. So something that's far away, like a clock on the wall, isn't going side to side, isn't bouncing. I can go from one object to another quickly with my eyes, like an exit sign to the hand sanitizer on the wall without it needing time to catch up, I guess you could say. I can look at objects and they stay where they're supposed to be. And the biggest one, I think, is spinning. I used to really like Zumba, but I couldn't do it because I'd be really sick spinning, or I just wouldn't spin because the objects, they take like a second to catch up to each other, but everything is just like where it's supposed to be, just stays. And I don't feel sick. It makes me feel a lot calmer because going through life is really hard with so much stimuli. And then you also are trying to take care of children and teach and things like that. I just really I couldn't do it. But this is nice. Like the world just was nice. It wasn't too bouncy. It wasn't too crazy. And everything kind of settled down. And so I've noticed too lately that like any little information, like my daughter scratches her knee, gets like to be overload. And it was because I always had this kind of bouncing going on. And so then he put on other lenses that were definitely wrong. And I felt super sick and he like took them off right away. But I think the biggest part that was surprising to me, besides just feeling better, was walking and not feeling that bouncing, and then also just taking it off and still being like, "It's the same." It lasted, and knowing that that can last for a couple minutes and then maybe longer would be really great, to, like, wear these glasses and just go through life being normal, I guess you could say, like, going into Walgreens with the bright lights and not freaking out or getting overwhelmed at, like, trying to go to the grocery stores. Costco's a nightmare. Too many people, too many aisles, too many lights, and I've never been like that. I've never had that sensory issue until I had the eye issue with the vertigo and, with my optic neuritis issue. So, finding a solution to that is like, I think I told him, was like putting glasses on was like being in yoga for an hour. Like, I can finally just function and be a person. So I'm really excited about it.